Welcome to Through the Table Podcast with Brian, JL, Tom, Rick, and Russ.
I kind of feel like they just did that, because I mean, I felt like Cody was walking away with that belt anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I guess would have defended it because that's what it was. It was just supposed to be, Cody and Sammy or whatever. But yeah, he's definitely winning the unification match, and I wouldn't doubt if it's like a ladder match. You know what I mean? Like the Razor Shawn.
Oh, that'd be cool.
You can see that.
Two TNT
Yeah, that would
titles.
make perfect sense. Really, it would. Mm-hmm.
I mean, my only thing is, it's like, all right, you're gonna do a lot. Like, I don't know. I just feel like Cody, like, once again, it's like I know it's not really a feud with Sammy, but it's like he had, it's like, what was it? Why can't I think of it now? Oh, it's he had the it's like the Brody Lee match. It was a dog collar.
Dog collar. Yep.
And then it's like one day he's like, me and QT Marshall, we're gonna have a strap match. And then it's like
And the flaming table spot.
Flaming table. It's always
Mm-hmm.
He just goes like just too far. I think.
He thinks he's his dad.
No, he wants his dad's love. He didn't get it. His dad was on the road all the time. He didn't get his dad's love, so he's going to put himself through all this torture because he's hoping that someday, like the ghost of frickin' Dusty is going to come down, put his hand on his shoulder, and say, "You my son." Great, good for you.
I guess he has one of his dad's boots on his mantle over the fireplace.
Ugh.
I mean, that's cool.
I know. And they renamed the gorilla position the Dusty position for AEW.
That's a little weird.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But I mean, hey, that's whatever. That's personal preference, I guess.
Yeah.
It's just to me, it's this is your second match with technically, I guess, third match with Sammy Guevara. They had the match
Third.
like whatever it was 2 years ago.
Yeah, but that
Yeah.
theoretically it does count, so it would be the third.
Right. So it's like it's not. I mean, you're not in a blood feud, or you're not in this.
No.
This needs to be a winner. But I just feel like that's where it's going. They're going they're going to go with the ladder match. And
Totally.
So
with the two belts, it makes perfect sense that they would do it. At least there's a little bit of a reason for it.
Yeah.
Not just a ladder match because Cody wants one.
But it's going to be a ladder match with a flaming table, with thumbtacks, with barbed wire baseball bats. Because for God's sakes, Dusty didn't frickin' hug him enough. It's annoying. He goes to the next level for no reason.
Right.
And he's not a hardcore worker.
But he tries.
He tries, but he looks awkward doing it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. He's not meant for it. You can tell.
It's like trying to watch Kane do lucha libre. It's just not going to happen.
Right.
Doesn't look right.
Mm-hmm.
it is kind of wild, like just to see his back still. It's just all still like burnt.
It's still all
just,
messed up. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's all splotchy, crispy in places and whatnot.
No, you got a bunch of second-degree burns.
As he should have, because if he did it the right way, it wouldn't even been him going through the table.
Yeah, Andrade would be having that problem.
Yeah. Instead, no.
Randy put a ton of lighter fluid on that table, though.
Way too much. Way too much.
So much.
The
Maybe
whole
she's
bottle of
secretly
it.
trying to kill him.
Who knows? She can't take it anymore. Him and Triple H will be living together.
I still can't believe that. He's just gone.
Yeah, it's a non-story, but I guess somebody said that Triple H is bummed out by all the guys that have been fired.
I mean, yeah,
Bummed out. That's all that they got from him. I'm like, wow. Okay, great.
it's a great take.
Bummed out. I mean, there's nothing else you can go on there. It's like,
I mean,
great.
I'd be.
What's he gonna be? What's he gonna be ecstatic about it? Oh,
Right.
awesome! All the guys I hired to take over Raw and SmackDown are gone now. I can't wait.
Right. That's what I was gonna say.
What is he gonna say?
I'd be super bummed if everybody that I hired is now jobless.
Just about. I mean, as I said last night, that I guess Tommy Dreamer was on Busted Open saying that he called William Regal right after he got released and said, "You want to come to Impact? Any job you want is yours. Any job."
Wow.
I mean, why not? Right? Why
Yeah.
not?
They said, "You want to commentate? You want to manage? You want to be help book? You want to just scout talent? You want to help coach? You want to be on TV? Anything you want, come on for it. We want you."
Good. And someone should pick him up.
He's going to go somewhere. It's just a matter of where he wants to go, really.
It's not just the people. It's not just that they're releasing people. It's who they're releasing.
Yep.
It's not just the
Half the
workers
time, there's no
either.
rhyme and reason. It's just pick a name out of a hat. He's gone.
It's amazing to me. You look at a lot of the wrestlers that they released, and the talent level that they released is unbelievable. I mean, the AW
yeah.
roster, I don't think Tony Khan ever envisioned that roster was going to be where it is today
Hell no.
this quickly.
No.
I think he thought it would get there eventually, but within 3 years, that roster is where it is. It should never have been like that. WWE made it that way.
He said he was hoping within 10 years that he'd be doing what he's doing right now.
Yeah. And he's doing it already.
Mhm.
And, it's guys like Regal and people like that. But what you don't hear a lot about is the other guys, the other people that they're releasing. They have laid off a ton of IT professionals
I think somebody said there was over 300 names since they first did the first one, March of 2020. There's been 300 people in total released.
But there's also been a lot of like IT.
No, that's including them. IT,
Oh, okay.
IT,
Yeah.
like presidents, media people, whatever, social media people.
Yeah.
No one, not just wrestlers, but everybody.
It's amazing.
Office people, everyone.
What they've gotten rid of, who they've gotten rid of. It just blows my mind because they're getting rid of real talent.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. Everywhere.
I've said it before. All empires eventually crumble. They all do.
That's what happens when you put somebody that doesn't know much wrestling in there, Nick Khan, and you give him the green light to do whatever he wants.
But he's the Rock's guy, so he's never going to go anywhere.
Mm-hmm. He's probably Vince's predecessor now.
The Rock?
No, Nick Khan.
No, I was thinking The Rock.
The Rock will probably own it, but Nick Khan will be running it.
Yeah. Yeah, Rock doesn't have
Rock's
time
got
to
too
run
much to do. He's not going to run it. No.
Yeah.
Put somebody
way
in that
too
he can
much.
trust. Yeah,
it. Can't run the WWE when he's going to be president.
yeah, right. Ugh.
Sorry for my rant earlier.
Oh no, that's quite all right. That's what we like. It's going to be an interesting thing to put together.
it's
You had it inside. You had to let it go.
it just frustrates
It's annoying.
because it's I said my friend does, but it's not just him. I get texts all the time from friends, and anytime like a coworker or something realizes that I like wrestling and stuff, I get the same stuff. It's but AEW only uses WWE guys, and they
Mhm.
can't create their own guys. All right, well, here's this guy gonna go for the well, nobody knows who that is. They should have used Adam Cole. Well, what?
What did you just say? Yeah.
Literally, what? No, what? And it's just over and over again. And all these idiots get their news from Reddit. Stop with
Mhm.
that.
Yep.
Just watch
Well,
the show.
It's like going back to what you said too. It's that they're bitching about Brody King. All the guys are nobody. We want Bray Wyatt. But then it's like if you turn around and you give them Bray Wyatt, they're like, "Oh, why the hell is AEW wasting him as a sidekick to Malachi Black?"
And then they would say, wasn't it supposed to be Brody King?
Well, that's the thing
Right.
too.
Listen to the
If
crowd.
you-
What was the crowd chanting when the lights went off?
Brody,
Huge Brody King chants. Huge.
because it was the worst kept secret.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Everybody knew Brody King was showing up.
Right. Right. I mean, it was quite an entrance.
Yeah. Screwed up a move.
Well, it happens.
First move he did, it was a little sloppy.
Well, Brody Lee did the same thing when he first had that first move there. He almost knocked the guy's head off and slipped on
So
him.
he kicked Christopher Daniels and almost
Yep.
went right down. Yeah.
Yeah, you could see Brody King was a little too excited.
Oh,
And he almost murdered Pillman Jr. in the corner there.
That's
hopefully
okay.
Brody
though.
King doesn't have the same ending.
It's Pillman's.
No. The big thing with that was the Julia Hart there. You noticed her change going on.
Yeah, she's starting to. They didn't focus enough on it, I felt.
No, I think they just did enough of it to you kind of noticed out of the corner of your eye more than anything else.
Yeah.
she
Building
just
blocks.
She looked more upset than anything, and just kind of.
Well, it's the black outfit now, not the
Right.
cheerleader outfit anymore. She'll probably
Yeah.
wear black pants next week. It's going there.
That whole Julia Hart gimmick thing when Malachi Black spit in her eye, he missed and got Pillman.
Yep.
Pillman reacted to it.
Mm-hmm.
He's not.
Mhm.
No, I was to say, like that's one thing. Malachi Black, like I dig him, but he sucks at spitting that miss.
That's
He's
yeah,
not good.
No, not at all.
Sucks, bro. Like
Uh-huh.
you don't. There's not one person in that goddamn locker room. Like Dustin Rhodes doesn't know how to do that. You know what I mean? Like he's been around long enough.
You would figure
There's
somebody
gotta be
would.
somebody there.
Can someone call the Great Muda?
Seriously,
What's he doing these days?
What's Tajiri doing? You know what I mean? Somebody.
Working for MLW.
Right. He's in the States. Just get him a plane ticket.
Kabuki around still?
Right.
Just talk to him.
He's so off target all the
It's
time.
terrible.
Mhm.
And half the time you can't even see it's not even black. It's like it's like I almost feel like it's just water at some points.
They should just pull to a super wide shot so you just can't see it.
Or I mean, I hate to say it, but just I mean, not for nothing. Remember when Asuka used to do it to like all the divas or the women
Yeah.
superstars, and just she would just dye their hair because it was just like green food coloring, or you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
it's just I remember that like she did it to Charlotte that one time, and Charlotte had like literally had dyed her hair green,
Yep.
and it's like, you know what? Just
Mhm.
sorry, Julia, just you're gonna have food coloring on your face for the next day or two.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
Looks like you're gonna get. Looks like you got a facial from an alien.
I don't know. He just needs to commit to it or something.
He's just not doing it right.
No, it's bad.
I'm a big fan of the Mist, but it's not needed for him.
No, but I mean, I guess at the same time, if your whole gimmick is blinding people, I don't, I guess at least with the Mist, it's not like when Seth Rollins was pulling out people's eyeballs for that like couple few months or whatever, the eye for an eye match and all that
Mhm.
crap.
Mhm.
I mean, at least it's not that. The Mist is probably the best way to do it because it's there's no set timetable for when someone's better or what, you know what I mean? Like it's all just gimmick.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Mm-hmm.
So yeah, but he should definitely maybe practice it.
I mean, look, they finally brought Pac back on the show this past week talking about it as well.
Did they? I missed a bunch of it. I fell
Yeah,
asleep.
he had a bandage covering his whole eyes.
Oh,
And
okay.
he was in England again doing it because when he's not here, he's back home with his family for a month or so.
Right.
And he was saying he can finally see the light. But of course, he was covered up the whole time and he can't see it all right now, supposedly.
Hmm.
It's kind of interesting that they bring him back saying he can see now what what's supposed to be happening.
Is he supposed to be part of the House of Black?
I think he might wind up being. If you notice, only certain people are affected by it and some aren't.
Yeah.
Because didn't he get Garrison with it? And Garrison's all fine now and there's no
He did.
problems with him. But Julia's
he-
starting to wear the black and she's got the eye patch. Pac has the double bandage so he can't see at all. And then you have Brody King. So it's like certain people it affects and some aren't.
And he did get Pillman too, but
Well, I don't think
he wasn't supposed to get Pillman.
He wasn't supposed to.
Pillman sold it though. I'll give Pillman all the credit in the world. He sold
Mhm.
and then realized he wasn't supposed to, so he stopped.
And he said, "Oh, I was surprised what happened. That's why I reacted like that." No, it's not.
Guy's a meathead.
He tried to
We've
cover for it badly.
We got Shanky tonight and Madcap Moss.
Together?
No, unfortunately.
That would be a great singles match.
It would be.
No.
That's a main event anywhere in the country.
That's the other thing these Reddit people complain about too, is that, you know, the long storylines that AEW does, that they're setting up stories and developing feuds and angles.
Mm-hmm.
But again, this is what they're used to. They're used to Madcap Moss being hurt last week, and today he seems completely fine and healthy and doing his fake laugh all over the place.
Or the vicious 1 week feud that they all have all the time.
Or what was it? Natalia was teaming with somebody and then feuding with them the next week, and they never broke up. The tag team
Yep.
never ever broke
Right.
up or anything
Mhm.
like that. And
Mhm.
it's
Because they needed a face, so they turned her.
yeah. No rhyme or reason, anything.
Nope,
No
just came out.
storylines.
Just came out. And
Yep.
that was it. You're just supposed to accept it.
But they complain about it. Oh, why did Punk have to beat Wardlow? Because they're setting up the Wardlow face turn and the ultimate, you know, MJF comeuppance that he's going to end up getting.
It wasn't
That's
like
what
Punk
they're
made
doing.
Wardlow look good at all or anything.
Yeah.
He didn't sell those power bombs at all, you know? I mean,
Not at
bastard.
all.
What a
He took
bastard.
7 power bombs though and still beat him. Yeah, it's professional wrestling.
I'm reading. I got John Moxley's book for Christmas,
Oh, nice.
so I've been, after work, I'll come home, like I'll read a chapter or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
It's a good book. It's all over the place, like legit all over the place. It's not like Mick Foley where it's like, all right, well, I started here.
Yeah.
This is where I ended up. It's like one chapter is like, oh, I started training. Then the next chapter is like, me and Kenny Omega are having an exploding barbed wire death match today. And it's like, well, this happened. And it's like chapter 3. You know, I was in Tournament of Death in CZW in 2008. And it's like, what the? How did we? It's
Wow.
it's the weirdest thing.
Yeah.
Have you ever read Shawn Michaels' book?
I don't think no.
No, I haven't.
So I gave it a read a bunch of years ago. And the first parts of it were really cool because he's talking about, you know, how he got addicted to pain pills and how his wife almost kicked him out.
Mhm.
Everything's good, like the first half of the book. And then you get to a spot once he found Jesus, it becomes what was probably about 150 pages after that of trying to get whoever's reading it to become born again like him. It becomes a commercial for religion.
Mhm.
That's
And I
crazy.
didn't finish it at that point.
Gotcha.
Like Moxley's book, it's funny because it's like, he's like, oh yeah, me and Sammy Callahan were, going to Tournament of Death, and we ended up at this guy's house, and I did a bunch of cocaine, and then passed out, and like banged this broad on the living room table, and did more cocaine, and then I don't remember what happened after that, but I almost won Tournament of Death, and Nick Gage died, and it was just like. Reading it's just,
Probably all he remembers.
it's like all over the place.
Yeah.
Like he literally just sat down and was like, all right, what do I remember about this day?
Yeah, he's probably just writing a bunch of stuff down and they just said, oh, we're going to keep it that way.
Yeah, and that's it literally is. And that's just like, and then there's just random like, oh, I like this album. You should give it a listen. It's like, all right.
Do you
know-
think as he was writing this book, he was like, I have to go to rehab?
I think so.
This is the reason.
Because he's done a lot of cocaine. on Soundgarden CDs for some reason.
It's cute when people are like, "Oh, that's cool. He's got alcohol problems." Yeah, it's part of it. It's part of it.
Yeah, it's weird. It's like it's you know, it is. 1 minute he's like, I got my break in HWA, and then like the next chapter is like, I wrestled in the G1 this year, and it's like, what? How what? It's just all over the place.
Yeah.
Oh, I love nonsensical ramblings.
I mean, it's a decent book. Like, it's an entertaining read. You know what I mean? Like, it's like I'm enjoying it, but there's no rhyme or reason. It's literally just whatever story he feels like. Whatever he feels like talking about, that's what he's gonna do. Brian, I don't know if you've seen this. Apparently, Matt Cardona beats Rhino and is now claiming that he's the ECW TV champion.
Oh, is he? Nice. That's great. He was saying something about he's fighting him for the title tonight, and Rhino's like, "What?"
That's great.
He's such an idiot.
He's got it all planned out. He said this past year he made more money than he ever made in the WWE.
Yeah, because he was actually being used.
And he was basically able to call where he wanted to go and when he wanted to go. GCW's giving him a ton of money.
Oh, I bet. Well, it was,
He's the one that brought up Running Hammerstein.
oh, I bet. I'm sure it was. Oh, you know what? That's what I was gonna say when we were talking about how like different wrestlers, they don't have to go. The WWE's not like the end all be all end all.
Yeah.
I follow Jordan Grace on Instagram,
Mm-hmm.
and she like posted this thing today where she, it was basically like something about her being a millionaire at 25 years old. You know what I mean? It's just the fact that,
Right.
you know what I mean? Like, you can make $1 million wrestling on the indies in 2022.
Oh, sure.
That's pretty crazy.
I mean, Cardona's got the podcast and the figures and everything else. I mean, he's making a rolling in money probably.